Today's review is for Captain Marvel, directed by Ryan Fleck and Anna Boden, and stars Brie Larson, Samuel L. Jackson, Jude Law, Annette Bening, Lashana Lynch, and Ben Mendelsohn, and takes place in the 1990s and tells the story of Carole Danvers, a member of a group of Kree warriors called the Star Force, who fight against the Skrull shapeshifters. And when she gets captured on a mission and accidentally lands on Earth during her escape, she finds out that she had a life on the planet and searches to find proper answers with the help of a young Nick Fury as well as one of her past friends. Now, I'll be honest, I wasn't exactly expecting too much from this movie. While I'm definitely familiar with the character of Captain Marvel, I wasn't really that hyped for the movie. There were really only two things that I was really that excited for. Like, for one thing, it introduces the Skrulls, one of my favorite types of comic book villains. And two, it has a cat. And I love cats. But other than that, my expectations for this movie were pretty low. The trailers didn't really impress me that much. I mean, sure, it looked cool, but that's pretty much it. But I was willing to give it a chance because from what I hear, it is pivotal to the future of the MCU. I mean, Kevin Feige wants Captain Marvel to be the frontrunner for the MCU going forward. And besides, she was what the post-credit scene of Avengers Infinity War was setting up. So, knowing that, I was willing to give the movie a chance. And now I saw it, but I'm gonna be honest. I was pretty underwhelmed by it. This is nowhere near Marvel's best film. While it has its redeeming qualities, there are a lot of things about it that just don't exactly leave that much of a big impact on you. For what I liked about the movie, I'll say that Brie Larson definitely does a better job in the actual film than she does in the trailers or TV spots. Those promos are flat out lies. She gives much more emotion than she ever did in those trailers. Even though there are still times in the movie where she doesn't exactly give enough emotion, for the most part, she does a fine job. You can tell how hard she's trying to be a good Captain Marvel, and I definitely liked her performance a lot more in the final film. Also, the back-to-back chemistry between Carole and Nick Fury was also pretty fun to watch. They had good banter together, and it even makes for a good buddy cop dynamic between the two. The conversations they have are easily the biggest highlights of the movie. Also, I thought the Skrulls in this movie were portrayed fine. Sure, they look more like Piccolo than actual Skrulls, but as characters in the movie though, I thought the filmmakers did a fine job at bringing them to life. Although there was one plot point involving the Skrulls later on in the film which I was not satisfied with. I mean, it definitely gives a lot more development to the Skrulls, as well as the main Skrull Talos, but it also just completely snaps all of our hopes for a secret invasion movie right out of existence. That's the best way I could put it without spoiling too much. But other than that, I didn't mind this version of the Skrulls. I thought they were fine, if not really nerfed. Also, yeah, I like Goose the cat, because again, I like cats a lot. I have two cats and I love them both. And I also really like the CGI that they used to de-age both Samuel L. Jackson and Clark Gregg. They did a great job at doing that. It's some of the best de-aging CGI I've seen in the movie. It's definitely better than when they did it in Aquaman, I'll tell you that much. But for every good thing there is about the movie, it also has its share of sloppy seconds. Like, for one thing, the action was a bit disappointing. Most of the fighting in this movie were shot in some pretty dimly lit scenery, and it makes it kind of hard to tell what the hell is really going on, or who is who, because for the most part, it's just like silhouettes in the background. There is this one scene I liked where Carole fights this Skrull in a moving train, which we've all seen from the trailers. The old lady Skrull, you know. Yeah, that was a fun fight, even though it wasn't very long. And that's mostly because it was actually shot in lighting where you could actually see it. But yeah, for the most part, the action scenes in the movie were pretty underwhelming. I'm not gonna lie. Also, I wasn't into the best friend subplot between Carole and her friend who's named Maria. It didn't really have that much interesting value in it. It just didn't really get me into it that much. And also, again, there's a plot point involving the Skrulls that happens later in the film that, again, while I did find it interesting and definitely gave some decent character development to the Skrulls, it still completely destroys fans' hopes for a Secret War movie. I want to see that happen. Heck, the Russo brothers said that they want to make that movie. But I doubt that we'll ever get that now because of what happens to the Skrulls later within this movie. In fact, I'm willing to bet this is going to be the last time we ever see them. And it's the first time we've ever seen them in a movie, which is just freaking sad and disappointing. Also, a lot of the CGI looked unfinished. There is a big fight scene that happens at the end of the movie, and it's this big CGI space battle, and the CGI seemed really iffy here and there, especially to a point where the CGI looked like PS4 graphics. It was really lame and fake looking. Like, there's one shot where Carole is like falling from the sky, and it just looked really, really bad. And to be honest, I think this makes the CGI from Justice League look like Avatar in comparison. It was that bad, guys. And one more thing, the reveal as to how exactly Nick Fury lost his eye in this movie was just so underwhelming. I was expecting something more from what we got in the film. So yeah, Captain Marvel is definitely one of the weaker Marvel movies. It doesn't have that much memorable moments, it destroys all of our hope for a Secret War film, and it gave us the most uncool reveal as to who exactly it was that Nick Fury trusted and took his eye. And as a female-led superhero movie, I'd say Wonder Woman did a better job. Just saying. It just feels like they got the bottom of the barrel writers for this. I hope that when the 2 inevitable sequels get announced, they hire directors and writers who can give us a better movie starring this character. Like, I'm already certain that Avengers Endgame is going to be a far better Captain Marvel movie than this Captain Marvel movie. I'm going to give the movie a 4 out of 10. It's entertaining for the most part, but other than that, it's definitely a weak spot in the Marvel Universe. One great thing I can say about this movie is that it did give us this amazing and beautiful tribute to Stan Lee. Trust me, it's incredible. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. I'll see you next time, and peace out.